Hello guys, it's Plasmabats here. I've not made a video for a very long time. Been caught up with work and life, everything like that. But now that I'm seeing that Borderlands 4, the new trailer's been released, and there's a couple other games in the talk, like Fallout 5 and stuff like that, I thought I'd get back into making videos. So, this is going to be an analysis of the official first look, as they call it, and I'm going to be going through every little minute detail that I can find. And yeah, we'll see. I mean, if I get things wrong or if there's new information out, then obviously feel free to comment below. Make another video, show me what you found, what you think's different. Of course, all of this is theory work because nothing's actually been said apart from a couple things that the developers have said, and obviously black and white stuff like there are psychos and there are bandits. But other than that, let's get into it. Okay, so as we can see, this hand is mechanical, so it's most likely this new robotic antagonist that we see in a minute. It's not the timekeeper. You can kind of see the character there. Now, as we can see here, they're putting the psycho mask on this robot or this psycho, and they're using them to fight just like the Calypso twins did in Borderlands 3. As we can see there, we've got the nails again with the mechanical hand, same with the first clip. Some of the psychos have zombified bodies, as we just saw, scratches and green skin on them. It's quite interesting. They're all staring at Elpis, which is where they came from, we can assume, as it crashed or into the solar system. This new enemy we can see kind of looks like Iridians in the style that their armor is and their body. So we're not too sure about that though. Here we get a first look at the timekeeper, and it could be someone that we've seen before. Um, the face isn't very, it could be familiar. That's why they blurred it. And then we see that the timekeeper crushes an old psycho mask, meaning he, you know, he could we could have seen him before at some point in the franchise. As we can see here, we've got high-tech buildings just like on Promethea, and it has a lot of screens, kind of like propaganda, and of the character that looks like the timekeeper that we just saw. We can assume some sort of bandit stronghold, and it also has scav labelled on this pipe, which is a very big clue that the bandits on Elpis have survived, and they have now been led by this mechanical woman. And so in the pre-sequel, of course, they were also called scavs, so that's why they would have came over. This snowy mountain kind of area doesn't show much, but it's kind of like a high-tech facility, most likely ran by whoever's on the planet. Could be the timekeeper, could be another faction, but we're not sure. This could be the interior of the facility, or one like it, and we're kind of assumed by it's owned by the same people, with the kind of style that it's been constructed with. This looks like the interior of the bandit stronghold, showing us now that the bandits are more sort of mechanically advanced in their gear, ran by the new antagonist. These snowy mountains doesn't really show too much again, but this looks like a facility with military kind of style vehicles, and there's soldiers walking around, which are a different kind of figure to the people that we've already seen in the trailer. So they could be with the Timekeeper, which I'm assuming they are, or a different faction entirely. This city shows mercenaries sat down, chilling, and there's a painting on the building which shows a human. So this means that there are humans on this new planet, and this soldier could be one of them that sat down. So it could be a new faction, it could be with either two battling that we saw at the start of the trailer. This kind of engine room kind of place looks like there's little purple flashes everywhere. So this could be iridium used, which is used by the people to fuel things, or it could be by the same people led by the timekeeper, because this new language on the computers can be seen on the desk. We can see now a new sort of solar powered enemy that we haven't seen before, and it could be powered by that, as we can see little mechanical sort of arms around the actual body of the enemy, and it moves kind of like a robot. This kind of cavern, kind of like settlement area, looks like they have a shrine right at the top that they worship, and we can see humans walking around in this place. We don't know who they're alliance with or anything like that, but we will encounter people that we can actually interact with in the game, which is pretty cool. As we can see here, there's more kind of timekeeper propaganda in the background. So it's a very sort of, it looks like a kind of very sort of structural sort of army that they have going on this planet, which may not even be in alliance with these humans that we see. This is a first look at the Vole Hunters. Everyone's saying that they hate them, but this siren, of course, as a lot of you will know, there's a lot of confused people about there about who this might be. Some people think it's Mose, some people think it's Ava, um, and both of them have been shown to be incorrect. But I recently heard by Epic NNG when someone messaged him that they could have connections to the Watcher, which is very interesting. I won't get into that now because it's a long kind of story from the pre-sequel and stuff like that. But it's looking like that could be who this person is. This kind of tanky looking guy looks like he could be based off kind of like some sort of Viking or something because of his hair and his beard, and he has two axes, which we'll see later on. It's very sort of, it has to be. We don't get too much on this character, but it could have some sort of movement ability because of the gear that she has, but there's not too much shown about her. This guy has two swords, so it could be a melee-based character, similar to Zero, because he also had a sword in Borderlands 2, but that would be interesting to see. This bandit also shows that they're more technologically advanced in this game as well. From Elpis, the laser weapons will be coming back, and it looks like there's racks in the background. I can't tell if that's what they are, but they look very similar to them. This new vehicle, we can see it hovers on the land, as do all of them in this trailer, which is kind of interesting. And this land looks very much like the Highlands from Borderlands 2. Now, I know it's not, it's on this new planet, but it's quite cool that we get to explore somewhere that was like that from previous game. The facility in this area kind of looks like it's owned by the same people from before on the planet. And it reminds me of the wildlife reserve in Borderlands 2. It looks very much like that, kind of like the jungly kind of place. And we get another look at this vehicle here. It looks kind of like a hover bike, which is quite cool as well. These two we've not seen in any other Borderlands games, so yeah, who knows? There might be even more. This is the first look at the returning character that we have. Zane looks a lot older. I find it kind of weird though, because this hologram is the same as Borderlands 3 style for some reason. That's probably intentional, but I'm not too sure why, to be honest. There's not too much available about this guy. Kind of similar kind of style as the Vault Hunter that we can play as, but there's literally, that's the only time he shows up in the trailer. Not too much on this woman again, but the background area kind of looks very like majestic and like it could have something to do with the shine from before, and they may worship this person because her kind of style looks like a kind of like godlike, you know. As we can see now, Claptrap has a work belt, which means I've also heard he could have brought back the Claptrap range. As we know in Borderlands 3, we were helping him build a new Claptrap out of all old parts from before. So it's kind of suggesting that they may be back in function. As we can see here, there's lots of guns falling, and the legendaries have a new kind of rainbow look on them. It's kind of interesting. I don't think it's pearlescent, but you know, we don't know yet. The rarity in the gun as well also has a different height of the light beam that comes off them, which is quite cool. It's like a new little feature. As we can see here as well, the Siren runs significantly faster than the rest of the Vault Hunters, so they might have a kind of speed boost in their skill tree or something like that, kind of a movement-based kind of skill tree, which is quite interesting as well, because we've never seen something like that. This open scene doesn't show much in particular, but the landscape is something we've not really gone through before in the franchise. So it's nice that they're kind of switching it up and giving us new places to explore that's not too familiar, but still Borderlands at the same time. This is the same sort of cave settlement again, but we're seeing a nice looking kind of like engraved Jacob's pistol, which is quite cool. Good to see that they're coming back. We see this tall beam shooting into the sky, which is also purple, just like we saw in that kind of engine room. So it suggests again that they could be using iridium as either weapons or to power something on the planet. This is the same facility from before, but nothing's really different. This is a possible sort of like mini boss. There's a lot of gear attached to him, like rocket launcher and umbrella and stuff, kind of like Borderlands style, but we don't get too much on him either. This is a new sort of indigenous creature to the planet. Looks like some sort of like man-eating flower or something. We can see this sort of plants and like foliage around the location on the floor. I thought it kind of looked like the Ratch kind of like hive stuff from Borderlands 3, but it's a little bit different, so it's probably not that. We get a closer look here, but one of the like kind of zombified kind of bandits. Very sort of classic kind of bandit style location, but not much else new on that. Now here we see two enemies. The one at the front is almost definitely human with a mask on because we can see his mouth and his hand, very human-like. And the one in the back, we're not too sure if he's human or not, but we assume that he is because of the sort of body shape that he is. And that one with the hat was floating at the first scene of the battle, and they're fighting together, which means that this new army is human and alien kind of mixed, and the Timekeeper probably does run with these humans, as they were in his army at the start of the scene. You see here another sort of indigenous creature, just like the I forgot what they're called, but like the dinosaurs in Eden 6 and Borderlands 3. That's kind of interesting. We have here this sort of tanky kind of bandit, also has two swords and a nose ring, just like the Vault Hunter that we can play as. So maybe they're from like a specific place in the game that's the same, or they've got some sort of relation, and it's a boss that we've got to kill, and there'd be cool sort of connection between that. We can also see here floating rocks in the background, which no one I've seen pick up on this, and it's kind of like the Skywell moon on Promethea, and there's also that massive sort of jet in the background, just like the one on the Skywell planet, that it's used to move the moon um, with the laser to shoot at the planet. So this could mean that in this scene we go on to Elpis, or we go on a natural moon of the planet. We can see here a new grappling hook. Everyone's excited about this. We're not sure if this is for all the Vault Hunters or if this is just for the sort of Viking Vault Hunter. And like I said before, he's got two axes here that you can choose between fire and ice kind of ability. And yeah, that's why I sort of made the connection. But that's quite cool that he's got this kind of melee aspect to him as well. Finally, we see the Timekeeper. We can see his face now, and it almost activates a vault behind him. And we can see sort of dead bandits around the place. So this sort of shows he's got a lot of power in the army, and this could be the war that the Watcher was talking about in the end of the pre-sequel. We also do get a load of sort of cryptic sort of code. It has been decrypted, but it doesn't actually mean anything of significance to do with the trailer or anything. It probably mean more when we've got more clips, but as of now, it doesn't mean too much. If you saw anything that I didn't see, or if you want to make any suggestions or theories that you have, then be sure to put them down below. You know. But yeah, I'm back. I'm making more videos. Subscribe. See you later.